Okay, so very clearly at this point in time, here is a man who is overtly optimistic about his chances, but the High Court, they're quashing his chances. Also, Kunal joins us from the Supreme Court, where Nidhi Shukla, Madhumita Shukla's sister, was filing a petition, an appeal to prevent Amarmani Tripathi from blatantly flouting the law at this point of time. Kunal, it seems that Nidhi does not have too much to worry about. The justice delivery system is working.
Absolutely, Akash. She was visibly happy when she got the news from Nainital that the conviction has been upheld. The Sessions Court conviction, a life in prison that was handed down to 4 of them, was upheld. Not only that, but her petition as well as the CBI, their appeals to ensure that Premchandra Pandey, the 5th accused who was acquitted, is also given a life sentence, has also been accepted by the High Court. So she is indeed happy, but she also at the same time expressed apprehension that after all, Amarmani Tripathi is still very much a Samajwadi Party leader. The Samajwadi Party right now runs the government in Uttar Pradesh and therefore continues to be an influential and important politician of the party. She also did point out that despite all of this, he has been, as we were talking earlier, made a video within jail and has been coming out of prison and roaming freely, even holding sort of meetings with his party members in the guise of going to a hospital there near Gorakhpur. So she says that all this has to stop, that just despite the High Court upholding the conviction, this doesn't end. In fact, she also just told us a news that she just broke to us, that she will in fact come to the Supreme Court seeking enhancement of the punishment from life to death for all the 5.
Okay, so that's very important, from life to death, obviously emboldened by this verdict that the High Court has given. Kunal, what I also like to know from you is that where does this case go from here? 9.5 years it's taken for the case to go to the Sessions Court, the Sessions Court to give a life sentence to the High Court upholding the Sessions Court. Is this how long justice will have to take? Or will the delaying tactics of Amarmani Tripathi continue? Because now he'll approach the Supreme Court and the case will drag on.
In all likelihood, Akash, that is what is expected. Not only him, the other 4 will most probably come here to the Supreme Court, at least seeking commuting or mercy, if not acquittal completely, because after all they are lifers, so the least they could probably seek is mercy. Whether that will happen immediately or if they would take time, that remains to be seen, but in all probability, as you say, that would happen. And yes, indeed, this does show that there exists loopholes in the system that most people tend to use, and if they're influential politicians, they tend to use it even more. But one thing, that there is also a ray of hope, as Nidhi Shukla was also saying, after all, it has worked in their favor despite the one who has been victimized in this case. Her petition, her letter application here still stands though, where she claims that all this trauma has caused her to even think of committing suicide, and that the court should intervene to ensure that at least the minimum punishment handed down by the Sessions Court is followed to the T by prison authorities.
Absolutely. So we can happily report that Nidhi Shukla, sister of dead Madhumita Shukla, the dead poetess, did not apply or need not even think of suicide, because the courts are doing their job. The High Court upholding that verdict by the lower Sessions Court that it is a life sentence for Amarmani Tripathi. But of course, Amarmani Tripathi will appeal to the Supreme Court. We expect that to happen. The question is, how much does he stay inside the jail and how much does he try to escape outside on various pretexts? We'll keep a track on that story.